It's strange how someone with more influence than some countries still feels the need to vanish. Yet Selena Gomez has done exactly that, again and again, despite sitting on one of the most powerful Instagram accounts ever created. Her fame placed her at the top of a digital empire, but it also buried her beneath expectations, misinterpretations, and a constant microscope that magnified every insecurity. That kind of attention crushes even the strongest people. Pressure breaks quietly. Her decision to walk away reminds us that visibility isn't always freedom, and sometimes the smartest move is to reclaim privacy. Protect your peace before the world consumes it. Solid lesson. Why would the most followed woman on the planet willingly step away from a throne people spend their entire lives trying to climb? The answer sits at the intersection of mental health, identity, and the exhausting performance that social media forces onto anyone who lives inside it. Fame becomes a full-time job, one with no clock-out button and no room for mistakes, especially when millions are waiting to judge your next breath. Fame is relentless. Selena's retreats show that influence means nothing if it costs your sanity, and that even the biggest platforms are worthless if they become emotional battlegrounds. Step back before burnout decides for you. Imagine waking up knowing that hundreds of millions of people are waiting to judge you before you've even brushed your teeth. Every photo, every angle, every caption becomes a new battlefield for strangers to pick apart, turning your phone into both a stage and a firing squad. That's the pressure Selena lived with daily, an environment where the noise never stopped, the commentary never slowed, and the expectations never softened. Silence becomes survival. Her breaks weren't dramatic exits. They were protective resets, the only way to reclaim breathing room in a world that demanded constant access to her life. Sometimes the healthiest move is to step back before the spotlight burns you out. Selena has always retreated when her emotional world got too heavy, and fans who've followed her for years recognize the pattern. Disappear, heal, return stronger. It mirrors what many people do in their own lives when stress piles up, except hers happens with millions watching and speculating. Breaks aren't failures. They're coping mechanisms that keep people from crumbling under the weight of expectation. Everyone has limits. Her cycle of stepping back and then stepping forward proves that rest isn't optional in a hyper-connected life. Follow her lead. Pause when life demands too much, then return with clarity instead of exhaustion. Two things happened simultaneously in Selena's world. Instagram became the loudest amplifier of her voice and the sharpest trigger for her anxiety. That combination created a paradox where success and suffering grew side by side, forcing her to hold millions of eyes while battling a private storm. It's a reminder that influence doesn't erase internal struggles. Sometimes it magnifies them to unbearable proportions. Duality shapes fame. Her breaks make sense when you realize both truths existed at full volume, and neither could be ignored. Know your breaking points. Honoring them is a strength, not a setback. If you've ever felt completely drained by trying to keep up with life online, you already understand Selena's logic. Sometimes stepping back isn't quitting, it's choosing survival. Constant stimulation rewires your brain, pushing you toward comparison, fear, and the need to constantly perform for an invisible audience. That cycle becomes toxic fast, especially when negativity spreads faster than compassion. Protect your mind first. Selena's retreats show that intentional disconnection can be an act of self-respect, not weakness. Build routines that keep you grounded. Pause, log off, and reclaim mental clarity before burnout blindsides you. A clinical psychologist once said, "Hypervisibility erodes identity," and Selena is a case study in exactly what that means. When millions constantly interpret your words, your outfits, your weight, your relationships, you begin living in a world where every move feels prejudged. The human brain isn't built for that level of scrutiny, and experts warn it can trigger anxiety cycles that feel impossible to break. Visibility has limits. Selena's removals from Instagram line up precisely with the periods when that scrutiny intensified. It's a reminder to everyone. When outside voices drown out your own, step back and reclaim control. Most people assume Selena's biggest breaks were triggered by trolls or drama. But the real story is far less superficial. Her retreats were about identity, not conflict. She often said she didn't like who she became when social media dictated her self-worth, and that quiet realization mattered more than any feud. It wasn't the negativity she ran from. It was the version of herself shaped by constant pressure. Identity comes first. Her willingness to disconnect shows that winning online isn't the same as winning internally. Audit who you become in digital spaces and walk away from any platform that changes you for the worse. One of the biggest misconceptions about Selena's Instagram breaks is that they were strategic publicity moves, planned silence to stir hype or manipulate headlines. That theory collapses when you examine the timing. Her disappearances consistently aligned with periods of emotional strain, not marketing cycles. And her team repeatedly confirmed she hated the spotlight those breaks created. Social media didn't boost her brand during absences. It magnified every personal struggle she hoped to quiet. Publicity wasn't the plan. Her pattern proves that not all digital exits are tactical. Sometimes the healthiest choice is the least glamorous one. Walk away when the noise becomes too loud. Selena's decision to step off Instagram didn't just reflect her own boundaries, it quietly predicted a trend that's now sweeping through Hollywood. More celebrities are abandoning their accounts, limiting comments, or shifting to offline communities after realizing that constant visibility corrodes mental health faster than any scandal ever could. It marks a cultural shift. Influence is no longer measured by how often you post, but by how intentionally you protect your peace. Silence is strategy. Selena might have been early, but she won't be the last. Take the hint from the people living in the spotlight. Curate your digital presence, or it will curate you. If you're still with me, do me a quick favor. Hit like and subscribe. So You Say What Now can keep breaking down the real stories behind the headlines, not the recycled gossip everyone else repeats. This channel lives on deep dives that actually explain why celebrities make the choices they do. And your support helps push these videos to the people who care about the truth behind the fame. Tap like, tap subscribe, and let's jump into the second half, because Selena's story is about to get even more revealing. One mistake fans constantly make is assuming Selena's return to Instagram means she's fully healed, as if logging in symbolizes emotional stability. In reality, her comebacks often happen when she feels obligated, not necessarily when she feels grounded. And the pressure to appear stronger than she is can reopen wounds she hasn't finished tending to. Social media rewards quick returns, but healing requires slow, often invisible work that rarely fits into a highlight reel. Healing isn't linear. Her cycle teaches an essential lesson. Don't confuse performance with progress. Give yourself permission to recover fully before stepping back into spaces that demand emotional energy. Think of Selena's Instagram breaks like a personal system reboot, the same way you restart a frozen device that's overloaded with too many open tabs. When negativity, comparison, and constant scrutiny stack up, her emotional bandwidth crashes, just like any machine pushed past capacity, and she hits the only reset button available, stepping away. That kind of digital detox isn't trendy self-care. It's necessary maintenance for someone living inside a non-stop feedback loop. Everyone needs a reboot. Her breaks remind us to check our own mental load and clear out the inputs dragging us down. Shut down, recharge, and return only when you're running smoothly again. During her European tour a few years ago, someone from Selena's team quietly mentioned that she'd started deleting Instagram from her phone between cities because the emotional whiplash was ruining her sleep. One moment she was performing in front of thousands, and the next she was scrolling through strangers, dissecting her face, her outfits, her body, everything. That tiny behind-the-scenes detail shows how even in her highest moments, the noise online was strong enough to pull her back into self-doubt instantly. Joy can glitch under pressure. Her offstage habit offers a clear takeaway. Control what reaches your mind. Curate your inputs as intentionally as you curate your identity. Two things were happening beneath the surface that most people never noticed. Selena's physical health was fluctuating due to her autoimmune condition, and her emotional stamina was being drained by the nonstop battle for online approval. That mix created a dangerous loop where stress worsened symptoms, and symptoms intensified stress, leaving her with no stable ground to stand on. It wasn't drama driving her exits. It was human survival. Burnout hits hard. Her stories are a reminder to prioritize your health before your habits. When your body and mind start warning you in tandem, listen early instead of late. A growing number of A-list celebrities are quietly following the path Selena carved out, reducing screen time, limiting comments, or outsourcing their social media entirely, because the psychological cost of constant visibility is finally being taken seriously. This isn't a coincidence. It's an industry-wide shift fueled by burnout, digital harassment, and the realization that relevance doesn't require daily posts. Visibility used to be the currency of fame, but now emotional stability is. Peace is power. Selena's pattern shows everyday viewers a new model. Prioritize your mental health, even if online culture pressures you to stay active. Choose sustainability over endless stimulation. A lot of fans assume Selena quit Instagram because she was running from Hollywood drama, but the truth flips that idea on its head. Hollywood wasn't pushing her away. Hollywood was chasing her, eager for her presence, her influence, and her voice. The industry didn't reject her. Social media did, through relentless noise and emotional overload. Her disappearance wasn't avoidance, it was a boundary. Boundaries build survival. Her quiet resistance shows that stepping back isn't a loss of relevance, but a reclaiming of control. Don't let outside narratives convince you your choices stem from weakness. Sometimes they're rooted in strength. Selena's evolving relationship with Instagram gives a subtle clue about what her next decade might look like. A shift toward controlled storytelling, selective access, and a softer presence grounded in authenticity rather than volume. She's already experimenting with this through interviews, documentaries, and long-form projects that let her shape the narrative without relying on constant posting. It hints at a future where she appears when she has something meaningful to share, not just because the internet expects it. Intent beats frequency. Her trajectory points toward a healthier digital model, reminding us that influence grows deeper when it's deliberate. Choose intentional expression, not constant performance. If there's one lesson hidden inside Selena's on-again, off-again relationship with Instagram, it's this. You have far more control over your digital life than you think. You don't need to disappear completely, but you can redesign your relationship with social media so it supports your mental health instead of draining it. Limit what you consume, silence the noise, and show up only when it adds something to your life, not when it subtracts from it. You control the feed. Selena's choices underline a simple truth. Manage your online world like a living space. Clean it, curate it, and lock the door when necessary. Selena Gomez's pattern of disappearing from Instagram isn't a mystery. It's a map. It's the story of someone who learned to protect her mind, regulate the noise, and redefine what influence actually means in a world obsessed with constant visibility. Her retreats prove that stepping back isn't failure. It's self-preservation. And it's a reminder that sometimes the strongest move you can make is the one that gives you room to breathe. Her silence speaks volumes. If you want more deep dives like this, stick around on You Say What Now, because the next story we're breaking down will flip another celebrity narrative on its head.